Well, good morning. Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. All right, folks, you would think I had learned my lesson by now, but I continue to make the same dumb mistakes over and over again. And this has got to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I've got to learn my lesson, and I cannot continue to do what I've been doing. So let me tell you what's going on. As you guys know, if you've been watching the channel for a while, I've had several, and I do mean several, terrible experiences with Love's Travel Center shops. I think this is about the fourth time. I recently, on Sunday, which would be yesterday for those of you seeing this video, was going to be parked at a Love's on Saturday and Sunday for a Monday delivery 6 miles from here, and there's not another shop in the area. There's Johnson's Corner, which is a little north of here. I'm right north of Denver on I-25 at a Love's, and there's Johnson Corner that's just a few miles from here that's a Petro. But they don't have a shop there. They just have a big dirt lot. And I remember I was telling people I really don't want to get my oil changed at Love's. I've had so many bad experiences. And I finally, the kindness in me, I decided, hey, I need to give them another shot. Some time has passed. Maybe they're better. So I pulled in here. It was about 6 o'clock in the evening on Saturday. They said they closed at 9, so I thought, I'll just go the next morning. I don't want them rushing. And so the plan was to get my oil changed. I had 2 tires that needed flat repairs. Ironically, they were side by side. The right rear inside drive tire and the right rear outside drive tire. Both of them had small nails in them. And also, from a previous encounter with the Love's in Lubbock of all Loves, when they put that oil pressure sending unit in, they didn't put any thread tape on it or anything, and it was seeping there. So I told the shop, hey, I want you to go ahead and pull that sensor out, put some thread tape on it, put it back in. And while you're at it, it's only $5. Let's do a tire pass. Have an extra set of eyes, look at the tires, make sure they're all up to pressure. And so that was the laundry list of things I gave them to get done. I checked in at 8 o'clock in the morning with the goal, with the idea being that, the day shift would work on it. I'd get better service, things like that, than what the night shift would probably get me. They did tell me in the beginning that it would take probably about 5 hours or so before they could get to me. And they ended up pulling me in the shop about 1 p.m. So I get pulled in the shop. We open the hood. I show them where the leak is. The guy goes, oh yeah, I got a special socket for that. Because for those that don't know, it's a device that screws into the side of the block. And then it's got an electrical plug on the end of it. And it's kind of hard to get a wrench on it without breaking that electrical plug. So rather than me try it and break it and not be able to get a part, because I got to find a Freightliner dealer at that point, I was just going to let them do it. They said, the mechanic I was talking to said, yeah, he had a special socket, wouldn't be any big deal, he'd get it done for me. So I go inside, and hour after hour after hour passes, and we get near the end. They said, all right, we've finished the oil change. We need you to pull in this other bay so that we can do your flat repairs. I said, did y'all get that sensor done? First they said, what sensor? Then they said, no, we didn't get it done because it's not that sensor that's leaking, it's your fuel rail is leaking. I said, my fuel rail is not leaking. I know what's on the ground. It's oil, not diesel. And I said, I've had the engine steamed so that I could see exactly from where the oil is coming. I've also showed it to 2 previous mechanics where it is, and they agree with me. That's where the leak's coming from. That's what's needing to be fixed. So I said, just do what I'm paying you for. Pull the sensor out, put the thread tape on it, and stick it back in there. So little time passes, they come in, and I knew I'd screwed up telling them that, because I thought they're going to break something just to screw me over. And they come in, they go, we're not going to be able to pull that sensor and put the thread tape on it because we can't get the plug unplugged. And they said the clip's broke. Well, I know exactly what happened, and I'm sure you guys do too. The earlier shift broke that clip, and rather than telling me, because it's a Sunday and they can't get the parts, they just said, oh, you got a fuel rail leak. That's where your leak is. It's not that sensor. You're going to have to get that fixed. And oh, by the way, we don't do fuel rails. Me knowing from going to that other shop that where we steamed it and everything, I knew exactly where it was. I said, no, I don't have a fuel rail leak. It's that deal. But so what I think happened, I think they broke that clip that morning, and didn't want to tell me that they did that and hoped they could get by on me. Anyway, at this point, I'm pretty irate, as you can imagine. And I said, you know what, just forget the sensor, patch my tires, and let me pay for the oil change and get out of here. They said, all right. So they get the tires done. I pay out. I'm walking out there, and I'm kind of looking over everything. I said, hey, did y'all do that tire pass I asked for? He said, no, the only tires I aired up was the two that we patched. I aired them up to 100. I said, I told y'all 110. And he goes, oh, you want me to air them up to 110? I said, yeah, that's what I told you. But you know what? I looked on my receipt. I did not see a tire pass charge. I said, they didn't charge me. Let's let bygones be bygones. I just want to get out of here. So I come out to the truck. I'm getting ready to shoot this video. I'm looking over everything, and I noticed that they did charge me for a tire pass. It's on page 2. So I went back in there, had to get that refunded. I paid with a card. So it's only $5, but it takes 3 days to get it back. So I got out here and I started thinking, and I kind of went off on them about this as well. Let's say, anytime somebody's trying to pull the wool over your eyes, I always like to assume everything they're selling me is true. So let's assume for a second that I did have a fuel rail leak. They weren't planning to tell me about it. That's right. They were going to knowingly send a truck back out on the road with a fuel leak. If everything they're saying is true, I debate if there's a fuel leak or not. And they broke that other clip, and they weren't going to tell me about that either. So this is why, I said all that to say this. This is why it's important to pre-trip and post-trip your trucks. And to do it regularly, so because things can change. You're driving 500-600 miles a day, things can change, and this is why it's important to look your truck over and notice subtle changes and get them addressed as soon as you notice them. So now I'm in worse shape than I was. Now I've got to find another shop that can replace that plug, as well as pull that sensor and put thread tape on it. At this point, I think they probably damaged that sensor. My oil pressure gauge is still working. It's not a DOT violation or anything, so I can drive with it, but I'm gonna have to find a shop that can do that repair for me. And it's something I should have been able to handle here at Love's while I got downtime. And before anybody comes on here and says, oh, Love's is just a tire shop, you shouldn't use them. I don't make their advertisements. They make their advertisements. They're the ones that advertise they've got ASE certified mechanics. They're the ones that advertise that they specialize in Freightliner and international, and can even do Freightliner and international warranty work. So I'm not the one that's elevating them to the status of experts or mechanical geniuses. they're the ones that are boasting they can make these repairs. And I've just got to be smarter. I've got to not come here again unless there's no other choice. I could have waited till Monday and got my oil changed at the TA in Denver or something like that. But I've got to stay out of these Loves now. SRO Logistics gets a pretty good tire discount at Loves, and I do like their double coin tires. I met a guy in the shop that he did not like their double coin tires, but I've had pretty good luck with them. So for tire situations, I may still have to use them, but for mechanical repairs, I got to go to TA Petro, or I've got to find a chain that goes nationwide that's a little more reliable and trustworthy. And because at some point, if you keep going back to them, you're just accepting it. It's almost like a woman in an abusive relationship with a cheating husband or an abusive husband. If they continue to stay there time after time after time, it's almost like they're inviting it or accepting it at some point. And I'm not inviting or accepting a company purposefully trying to rip me off. I've had instances with Love's Travel Centers where I've caught them going through my truck, pillaging it, looking for change, taking soft drinks, things like that. And so I've got to just realize that for a period of time, I need to not do any shop business with Love's Mechanical anyway. But anyway, let me know your experiences down below in the comments about your experiences with Love's. Do you generally have good experiences there? I think we all agree they have great prices on fuel, things like that. We've probably got mixed opinions about the restaurant. I can tell you the store itself here was super nice. People are friendly. It's just the shop is, once again, just terrible. And I tried to talk to the manager about it. He didn't seem to care. And so I'm intending to call corporate this morning. And by this point, I'm sure they're familiar with who I am. And we'll see what happens. If I get anything positive to tell you or super negative to tell you, I'll share it with you. I'm pretty sure they'll just sweep this under the rug like they usually do. Anyway, y'all have a great week. Hopefully things are turning around for you. I'm doing better myself, and we'll catch you on the next video. I'm still trying to get Tuesday and Thursday night lives set up. I know everybody's getting frustrated wanting adventure videos, what's going on with me, where I'm at, what I'm doing, and I'm trying to get there. We're one step closer. My finances are in the best shape they've been in several months. They're still not great, but they're better than they have been. So y'all take care. We'll catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.